Hi, welcome back to Debra Lynn Bel Canto. I was joking to myself a minute ago saying, okay, next week I'll change my clothes because I've been in the same thing for the first 3 videos. Probably for this first week, you'll see the same top. So today we're gonna move on to another part of the equation in your singing voice, all right? So yesterday we talked about the nasal resonators and how magical they're going to be a part of our instrument, and the forward lift, engaging those cheek muscles up off the gum line. Now, for those of you that are shy, let me just say this at the outset. This is going to trigger some things in your emotional body. Not like we don't have other things triggering our emotional bodies right now, right? But this in particular is going to have you have the sensation of being more out there. So if you're more introverted, if you're used to being a little shy or a little more to yourself, just know that as I'm asking you to do these things, as we open you up, so to speak, as we open up this instrument, initially you may experience some emotional discomfort. Just know that this is a muscle practice. We're going to get used to these things over time. So not to be too hard on yourself if initially it doesn't all want to stabilize, because the emotional body has a propensity for getting in our way initially when we start to try to get access to this voice. Remember that the voice emerges into the world, right? When it does that, it tends to be the point of vulnerability for us. We're actually putting ourselves out there, which is why singing in public or speaking in public can be so terrifying. All right, but we'll address that as we go on. For right now, you're in a private space, you're by yourself. You know, what you can know about me is that I'm your friend, even though you don't know me. So I want to give you everything I understand to help you get more effective results. So let's dig in a little bit. So now if you go back to the very first video, all right, I'm going to tie a couple things together for you. I said something kind of profound. I said in bel canto, there is no out, which usually has people scratching their heads like, well, how is that going to work? How am I going to be heard? How am I going to make any volume? How am I going to get my voice to the audience? Blah, 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 right? It just like, woo, the mind starts spinning. So if you can kind of get into your mind's eye that I'm thinking of you as an optimal acoustic resonating instrument that's designed to amplify sound with no force. All right, the experience in my body is very different than many singers I know. So I'm pulling you in right to the point of suspension. We're opening up that inner space inside your mouth. There'll be more about that to come. And then now we've got the facial lift. So now we've got, even if you just look at me, when I speak to you, I'm maintaining more height and openness above the upper jaw all the time. I'm not letting it collapse. I'm not letting it collapse, because for me personally, after all these years of doing this, it feels really, really awkward to do that. So I'm maintaining more height. I'm maintaining more inner space, all right? But here's the key. I am pulling sound towards myself, pulling it into my instrument, pulling it into me. And then I'm going to take it a step farther. I'm continuing that sensation all the way through my body. And literally, for me vibrationally, it almost feels like it's going out the back of my head. Now, it isn't really, right? So some of these pieces that I say, just remember that these are vibrational sensations. And as we sing, what's going to happen with this work is that you're going to start to feel your resonators open, and you're going to have instant access to them, but they're going to do the work for you. You're not going to be trying to make it all happen, which is usually what's happening for most people when they first start singing, right? Trying to figure out where to put it. How far do I have to get away? What do I have to do? What do I have to do? It's like throwing spaghetti on the wall. So, and usually it doesn't stick very well. So just remember that I'm helping you understand a different paradigm of singing ease, all right? Now, today what I'd like to do is take you inside your instrument and have you do a little exercise, all right? Now, in order to do this, usually you're going to have to take your glasses off, because I'm going to ask you to put your hands, well washed, of course, over your face. So here, I'm going to just do this for you. So I'm going to put my hands over my face, and I want your hands all the way. It's like you're going to put them all the way as if there was a wall in front of you, all right? Now go ahead and do the forward lift because it will help with the process a little bit. So you can just smile behind your hands, all right? You're smiling. And I'm going to go to a go-to song that most of us know, which is Do Re Mi that Julie Andrews sang in Sound of Music, all right? Because it's easy. But just know that if you're a guy doing this with me, you might have to actually stop me, sing it in your own key, and then come back and we can talk about what you discovered, all right? If you're a gal, hopefully this placement that I'm going to put it in as far as tones go will be comfortable for you, all right? So I'm just going to put myself behind my hands, smile, and I take a little bit of breath into that point of suspension, and I'm going to sing. Let's start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. Now you notice that you're hearing me pretty clearly, even though I'm behind the wall. Now, remember, I've been doing this for 25 plus years, okay? So for me, this is sort of an automatic thing. But what happens when we put ourselves behind our hands and we sing is that we start to feel the vibration that's going on inside our head. So it's less about what we're doing out here right now for me and more about what's going on inside you. As my teacher said to me, golly gee willikers, it's been 1989. That's a long time, right? Back then, he said to me, every important thing that you're doing as a singer is inside you. And so we're going to bring you from the outside world of what we're trying to do out here internally so you can feel it working inside. And then you're going to notice some cool stuff about how you can expand sound and make it louder and do all sorts of cool things, but you're never leaving the building. All right, so here we go. Let's go back again. We'll do a little bit more. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you sing, you begin with Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi. The first three notes just happen to be Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. And you just like, I'm literally inside my head singing. Let's start. Let's start. Let's start. You feel it. Now it's different than if I were to push it at you. Let's start. Let's start. And you feel it. It collapses and my tuning gets wonky almost immediately. All right, so just play around with it. If you don't know the Do Re Mi song, it doesn't really matter. You can pick another song, something like I said yesterday, a go-to song, something that's easy for you or that you really love or you goof around with, okay? The more that we can make this journey lighthearted, the easier it is on our emotional body. So just know that I'm here standing next to you, helping you understand how magical you are. Remember to subscribe and like the video, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow with yet another piece of your magic head. Ciao bella!